I have spent a very large amount of time paying attention to the micro phenomena that happen inside us when we post on social media. I am fascinated about what happens inside us even when we think about posting or sharing or putting something out into the world. I'm curious about the shutdown, and let's just say an impulse comes up to share something and then something else comes in, like some kind of unconscious force that goes, whoop, not today. I'm fascinated about what happens when we start writing a post. What pops up inside us, what filters arrive, what blocks, or what enthusiasm and kind of creative flow emerges in us. I'm fascinated about all of the fine detail. I'm fascinated about the funny stuff that happens inside us when we see ourselves, a picture of ourselves, and we start judging it. Like we have particular things like that side of my face is not good enough, or I don't like my nose, or my hair looks funny. All of the kind of stuff that happens inside us when we see pictures and when we hear video or watch video of ourselves and hear our own voices. There are myriad micro phenomena that arise and take place unwitnessed in the act of considering and then moving through posting on social media. And of course, the final piece de la resistance is what happens inside us after we post, where we might experience like, ooh, did I make a boo-boo? Did I just do something weird? Or do we just feel okay and we forget about it? Or the waiting to see people's responses and who liked it, that heart or that comment, and what did they really mean? There's a symphony of experience going on inside us when we post on social media. I'm no different. I'm so curious about you. Anything that comes up for you while you watch this video, type it, share it, email back, write in the comments. I want to know what happens inside you. And in this episode, we're going to investigate the micro phenomena that bounce up inside us, that arise, and how we can use them to go deeper, to decondition, in other words, to no longer be captured by constricting, negative, less optimal patterns. So how we can really constructively work with what arises. That's what we're going to explore here today. Before we go any further, first of all, let's take a deep breath. Just settle down into ourselves and hit that thumbs up button if you're watching this on YouTube to like the video, optimize the algorithm, help me get the work out. So let's get to work. Social media and the micro phenomena that arise when we post. A first useful place to start is, what are our feelings about social media? Now, do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Do you have both going on inside you? Do you have a healthy relationship with it? So in other words, I go to post and then scroll, or I'm just a passive consumer, or a bit of both. I think a lot of us have got complex feelings about social media, and totally fair enough. I mean, it could be, the end of our civilization happening as we scroll through the apocalypse, right? But it's worth acknowledging that we have complex feelings about it. And so that is going to totally matter when it comes to posting. And if you need to post for your creativity or for your work or your business, and you need to put stuff out there, all of this is going to be coming into play, these subtle feelings, as you try and do this. And so you can have a whole host of saboteurs on board, kind of going, oh no, it's yucky. Oh, we should be quiet. Oh, what will Aunt Jenny say? Or whatever else it is. We could have all kinds of saboteurs on board that would be judging us, or saying it's not safe, or we shouldn't brag, or we shouldn't take up space, or whatever else it is. And those can be arising in the background and make us really just not show up for our marketing and our sales efforts, or just sharing our work and our ideas on social media. So let's get into a biggie. How do we feel about our face? I think this is a really complex question. I think it gets challenged by social media. There's just so much visual social media where we show our faces, or where we get photographed, for example, at a social event, and it's on social media, and it can bring up these feelings. And the thing is that these feelings happen inside us. They can be like, oh, I look old, my nose is wrong, my hair is wrong, my body is wrong. we can have very complex feelings about the way we look. Mostly they are unexamined, or often they're unexamined. And so I'm going to talk continually in this episode about using social media to decondition patterns inside us. What that means is, let's just say I've got a pattern of not liking XYZ about my face, or not liking my face and almost shrinking and shutting down if I don't look good in a photograph. That's already a piece of conditioning. It comes over me. I look horrible and I feel bad, right? That's unexamined conditioning, and we can work with our conditioning to dismantle it. A lot of it is just like inherited from family, from culture, from our adolescence, and we're literally running these programs and they're just rolling on and on and on in the background. So how do you feel about your face and your body when you see it on social media? That's an area to decondition. If it's not, I love myself and I appreciate myself and I'm doing my best to love and accept myself just as I am. Immediately adjacent to that is, how do we feel about the sound of our voice? There's a whole lot of research into this where our voices sound different in our heads to how they sound on recording. And it can be a big shock to us, and we're like, oh my God, I sound so weird, I sound so nasal, I sound like this. My voice is too high or too low. We can have these really strange judgments about our voices. Usually they're unexamined, or mostly we believe that they're true. Totally worth dismantling. Most people, or pretty much no one, judges your voice the way you do. Only you do, really. So dismantle, decondition that response. Writing blocks. Blocks where we start to do text, we start to write the text, and we're overthinking, and it's hard for us, and we have fun ideas, but what really comes through is the edited, safe version where we try not to make any mistakes and not ruffle any feathers and just do things that will be accepted. So this is another opportunity for deconditioning. As we're writing, noticing, oh, am I shutting down? What's going on here? Am I opening or closing? Are my ideas opening or closing? That's interesting. I'm not stuck with that pattern for life if I'm willing to do some work on deconditioning. Some work of releasing the pattern. More micro phenomena. One is, how often do you think of posts or imagine posts or half do posts that never see the light of day? And what is the mechanism that shuts down that piece of self-expression from happening? I think that's really curious. So just pay attention to how many fantasy posts happen versus reality. And so there's something really interesting to work with. Why is that happening? Definitely happens with me. Another microphenomenon is to pay attention to who we picture judging or criticizing or noticing our posts, or who we need to impress, and start to catalog or list who are those faces, and then again do some work with that. Because what they are is they are avatars. They're just pictures actually inside our head where we have exported our sense of shame and embarrassment and not good enoughness, so that Sally judges me, or Sally would be looking at my post thinking, oh, that's not great. But that Sally is just a figment of our imagination. She is someone we've created in our head. She might exist in real life, but we are using her to kind of export our shame and self-criticism. If we own back that projection, we can begin to release that ghost or demon from the system, really just begin to express more freely when we want to, and get our work and our ideas and our creativity and so on out into the world. Another microphenomenon is to really pay attention into our bodies and our emotions and how we feel as we're clicking send or sending that bulk email or whatever else it is. What's going on? Is there a free, open feeling inside us? Or is there constriction or shutting down or some fear? Again, I'd love your feedback. Please do some posting. Leave a comment below to let me know what happens to you in the fine detail as you click send or post. And lastly, but also vitally, is what do we feel after clicking send, after posting? Perhaps coming back and seeing the post or thinking about the post afterwards. Many of us will ruminate and be brooding is that a good post? Is that not a good post? What's happening with those likes, responding to comments, and reading into intonation in people's comments, there can be complex stuff going on inside us, which is, did I do okay? Did I do okay? Do they like it? Am I going to be okay? And so there actually can be genuinely scared young parts of ourselves that are just afraid. They're insecure. And so again, working with them rather than just avoiding them and ignoring them, or just avoiding social media and just not facing these very afraid, insecure young parts of ourselves. There's an opportunity to work with them and liberate them and bring them home and teach them to feel safe in the world. Teach them to feel safe to just express and let it out and be okay with what comes out. Now I'm going to say something that I say every time I do this, which is please like and subscribe, which is the thumbsy upsy button, and then there's the subscribe button, and you can literally like grab your mouse and like smash it on the table and just hit that like button. Or you could take your phone and just do something kind of radical with it. You could even like boop it with your nose to see if you could like and subscribe. And I'm only saying it like this to get your attention so that you'll treat it a little differently, because I tend to, whenever somebody says on YouTube says like and subscribe, I just like go, it's like I lose time and then I come back after they finish saying that. So like and subs, help my channel. So really, in summary, this episode is all about paying attention to the micro phenomena inside us that arise as we express ourselves in the world on social media. What goes on? What kind of energy and enthusiasm rises up versus what constriction, shutdown, I'm not safe, it's not good enough, all of that kind of stuff. What arises? And there's this incredible opportunity with these constrictions arising to do the deconditioning work, to do the work of dismantling systems that just operate in the darkness, keeping us smaller, keeping us from thriving in the world or expressing cleanly and clearly with enthusiasm. So that's it for today. Let me know how this landed. Let me know what's happening in your social media universe. And are you doing some deconditioning? Are you working on these little patterns, or are they just running around in the background doing their little thing? Lots of love.